Yo, Disney, what's going on with y'all? This week I decided to pick up Brandon Sanderson Skyward because I loved Way of Kings, and after House of Wolves and Dragon's Envoy failed to put any effort in, I needed something that I would expect could be good. So we're introduced to a world where humanity crash landed some time ago and has been at war with an alien race called the Krell. It's amazing how in a few simple pages, Brandon Sanderson can do something more than 4 chapters of Dragon's Envoy can't do. There's a reason I really like his stuff. But we pick up with a young girl who admires her father, a capable and well-respected pilot. One day, the Krell attack humanity's base.
Then, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
And for some reason, her father breaks rank and flees. He's shot down and she is branded a traitor's daughter. However, she's still determined to grow and become a capable pilot herself. Nice, simple, concise, engaging, and intriguing. Almost like he's a fucking storyteller. So, we jump ahead to where Spencer is trying out to be a pilot. However, the pilot's test is notoriously unfair and they can use whatever metric they want to determine who passes. Because Spencer is a daughter of a coward, they'll never let her pass. After the test is over, she sits behind, going over the questions, and is discovered by one of her dad's old wingmates, who agrees to take her into his class, despite this angering all of his higher-ups. There's a long bit of classism that goes on here, which is something I feel Sanderson really handles much better in Way of Kings, because humanity here is basically rocking back on their heels. They're undermanned and underprepared, and while they're working their way up, they also clearly kind of need whoever they can get. Picture the rebels during the Star Wars OT, and that's kind of how these guys are pitched. Now, the rebellion wasn't really in a position to turn anybody away, especially if they could prove them they were handling themselves as a capable pilot. However, this more than any other person is the antagonist of the book. It's the system, which carries a sort of stink of extreme politics, though there are a few things to combat this. For example, a higher-up son is elected as flight leader on day 1. That carries some of the stink. Spencer throws a fit about this, and the teacher explains that he already made flight leader because he already has 1,000 hours in the cockpit of a ship, which actually makes sense. It might suck, but it's a good reason to elect him. And this is painted as a reasonable decision, instead of being beaten down by an unfair system. The students all have to help defend the city on day 1, almost like they can't actually afford to reject anyone who wants to become a pilot or anything. But they managed to do it, even while the effort on their part was relatively small, and they didn't do it all that well, but yeah, they managed to help out, at least a little. Spoilers abound, so skip to me final thoughts if you want to avoid plot details. As they move on through the training, things get worse and worse. For starters, Spencer isn't allowed to use any military resources, such as a bunk or mess hall food, because the Admiral wants her to quit. And I admit, I rolled my eyes at this a fair bit when it's introduced, because it very much felt like the world unfairly beating down on someone. But when it is revealed why the Admiral does this, she actually kinda has a good point, and even Spencer is forced to admit that. That being said, there are still quite a few Mary Sue-ish tendencies around the main character. She finds and gets to eventually pilot a rare and advanced ship that lets her do things nobody else can even attempt. There are a few cases of everyone stood up and clapped. Her flight commander is a dick who tells her how amazing she is and has a change of heart because of her, and that's all fairly cringe. However, there is quite a bit more good than there is bad. For example, that ship has an AI that is endearing and often difficult. She at least has to repair the ship, and to do so has to bring in a friend who can understand what to do with it. So she's not just amazing from the start. Oftentimes her brash attitude can get her in a lot of trouble, and her flight commander is actually given a fair bit of character depth and isn't made into a lesser or incapable leader because of it, which I can appreciate. The ending has a really good reveal over what exactly happened to Spencer's father and the supposed defect they share, and levels a bit deeper into the situation with the Krell in a way that's both interesting and intriguing. Then the book ends and makes you want to know what comes next. So let's address the shard elephant in the room. Is this as good as the Shardbearer series? No. Pretty much on every front, it strikes just a notch or two below that. The one exception is how easy it is to get drawn into Skyward. Way of Kings is a very dense book, and it takes a very long time to feel like you understand much of what's going on, but Skyward is far easier to penetrate. So, in that category, it outdoes the Shardbearer series. But, like I say, on pretty much every other round, it goes to the fantasy series. So, overall, it's certainly not peerless, but it's still pretty good. And let's face it, Sanderson loves world building, and if he's good at writing an immersive and engaging world with a compelling plot, then that's at least a decent pass in my books. My personal score is 7.5 out of 10. Like I say, it may not be the best, but it's still well above average. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bingo card. Well, we hit quite a few things, but never did hit a bingo. Which, frankly, after House of Wolves, I can't even pretend to be upset about. Stick around, because next week we got something special going on. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, or you're upset that I destroyed something you like, why not rip into something of mine as fair play? My book, Case for Connors, is now available on Amazon. Link in the description.